You call this tarte tatin, I call it apple pie. Tarte tatin, classically, to me, has puff pastry on top. It's not puff pastry, is it?
Crumbly, sweet pastry, soft apples releasing juice. It is absolutely bang on the money, but it is an apple pie.
Harriet is sticking to what she knows and loves, serving a seasonal British menu which uses lots of local ingredients.
Tell us what you're cooking for us.
Sirloin of venison. And I'm going to do a rowan berry jus. And then for the pudding, I'm doing a tarte tatin and clotted cream.
We talk about English food, it's the buzzword at the moment with chefs, but you actually do it, don't you?
It's my absolute favourite way to eat. I love it, and it's what I personally feel I do best.
Are you good enough?
Absolutely. I can say it with conviction.
She's using sweet pastry instead of using puff pastry, which means the caramel's not going to have anything to absorb into.
She is the one here with a very, very strong identity of the food that she's come from and the direction her food wants to go.
You've had 30 minutes, you've got under an hour left.
Gary hopes his French-inspired menu will show he's got what it takes to move from amateur to professional.
Gary, the 3 dishes fit for a semi-final are?
Scallops on a bed of spinach, and doing a rack of lamb. And for dessert, I'm doing a white chocolate creme brulee.
Rich food, Gary.
Yeah.
Which aspect would cause you the most concern?
The creme brulee, it's just whether it sets.
How much do you want to win this?
If I was knocked out now, I'd just be gutted. I'd be gutted.
The boy's pulling out the stops. It's beyond what he normally does. I think it's absolutely great.
Can he deliver it? Will the lamb be cooked perfectly? Will that sauce be lovely and rich and not thin? And will that chocolate brulee be oversweet or just right?
Lois is hoping her 3 courses will show the judges she has finally focused and wants a cooking career.
You have a huge amount of ingredients and a cocktail bar.
Yep.
What are you cooking for us?
Venison with a leek and barley risotto and a marsala jus, and a chocolate tart with whiskey and ginger ice cream.
We've got some very strong flavours going on here.
I do like cooking with big flavours, definitely. So this, I think, is quite my sort of food.
If at the end of today you're going through the next round,
I will be absolutely, totally over the moon.
Here is where it could go wonderful or it could go uh-oh.
she's attempting amazing things, I think, right now. I love the idea of the venison and the barley together. I think it's great.
Through all of it, we've either got flavours that are going to come together and mesh and mould beautifully, or they're going to come together and go smash. I hope for her sake it blends.
Should be playing it up. You've got a minute left.
We're finished. Leave the plates alone, that's it.
Harriet is serving a starter of scallops on pea and mint puree with the unusual touch of deep-fried ginger and leek.
I get the sweetness of the peas, sweetness of the scallops. I think the peas could do with a little bit more flavour.
I think the scallops are good. I think the puree of peas is a bit watery. But luckily, I have ginger, which hits the back of my palate.
Yeah.
For her main, Harriet's serving a traditional British dish of venison with roasted seasonal vegetables in a rowanberry gravy.
I do see some problems. There's obviously a lack of sauce in here. It should be coating everything. The soft sweetness of the carrot, and then the dense, sticky sweetness of that sauce with the rowanberry jelly is dreamy. I'd like to see you just cutting away these rough edges. I don't know where the idea of leaving all the stems on the turnips came from. It looks like something from War of the Worlds.
Venison is cooked nicely. The sauce is very good indeed.
For dessert, it's an Apple Tarte Tatin made with a sweet short crust pastry and clotted cream.
You call this tarte tatin, I call it apple pie. Tarte Tatin, classically, to me, has puff pastry on top. It's not puff pastry, is it? The apples are sweet, but yes, a tart. I think it's good.
Crumbly, sweet pastry, soft apples releasing juice is absolutely bang on the money, but it is an apple pie.
I need to know whether you can physically go any further in this competition.
I can. I'll take on all your criticism. So what I've loved about this is that I can take on what you've said and hopefully do more with it.
Gary is also serving scallops. His are on a bed of spinach with a sauce made from the scallop coral.
The idea of using the coral as a sauce for the scallops is quite brave, because it is a strong flavour a lot of people aren't used to. It is, of course, just the roe of the scallop. I think the scallops are slightly undercooked. The spinach, for me, is slightly too toasted, too burnt. The roe sauce is strong and it goes well with the scallops. It's almost there.
No, sweet scallop, I think that sauce is very, very good indeed. Reminiscent of the sea.
His main course is rack of lamb with parsnip mash and a carrot and fennel puree with a red wine sauce.
I love the colour of your pink meat. I love that. I'm not very happy about all of this white fat. More of that back into the hot pan. You know, that should have melted down to about that big. I love the sweetness of the parsnip. I don't like your red wine sauce as a contrast with it. I got that first and I thought, ooh.
The carrots are there. I think it's colour, but you get a touch of aniseed, but not a huge amount from the fennel. It's a very subtle dish, Gary.
For dessert, Gary's serving a white chocolate creme brulee.
Inside here, we've got a cream which is almost curdling. It has slightly curdled. The texture's a bit weird. I think you can work on it, but I would say pare back out of the white chocolate.
Yeah.
It is splitting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's going all bitty instead of just smooth and jelly-like. White chocolate's lost in there. I'd rather it was just packed full of vanilla.
Well, I hope it doesn't, like, blow me chances.
Lois's starter is black pudding and caramelised apple with watercress.
I'm not very happy with great big stalks. Do you eat the stalks?
I do. I like the pepperiness of it.
This is very crusty on the top here. Did you want it to be like that?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like it nice and crispy.
The watercress disappears. You can get the texture, you don't get the heat at all. It's a very, very dry dish. It's too dry and cloying for me.
Strong black pudding, a little bit of apple from the crunch from the apple. A bit of work. I think you've got a really, really good dish.
For her main, she's made venison with a leek and barley risotto, wild mushrooms and a masala sauce.
Meaty, deep, soft venison. Lovely, thick, rich sauce. Hint of wild mushrooms running through there. Lois, you could serve that in a restaurant. That is seriously good.
It is absolutely, I think, one of the best main courses I have tasted on MasterChef. I mean it.
Well,
Lois's dessert is chocolate tart with a whiskey and ginger ice cream.
I think it could be a little bit firmer, the chocolate inside there. Your ice cream is very, very well made, but whiskey is harsh.
The ice cream becomes, because of the whiskey, a bit cheesy, which I didn't expect at all. What do you think now?
I think you should judge me on what I'm obviously capable of.
Thank you for the standards of food. Absolutely superb. Made our decision much, much tougher. But the decision we have made nonetheless.
Our semi-finalist Harriet. Congratulations.
Well done, mate.